All right, let's go to the next two movies. They're kind of the same movie. I watched The Things. The Thing? The Thing and The Thing. I watched The Thing, The Thing, The Things. Or it's a thing apostrophe S instead of in parentheses. I watched The Thing. The 2011 one first. No, the other one first. The new one with Ravona. She is cute. She was in Scott Pilgrim Saves the World or whatever.
That's where she's.
Yeah, Ravona. She is so cute. It borders on hot, but it doesn't quite cross over. You know what I mean? She's incredibly cute. Anyway, so I watched this one first. This is a 2011 version of The Thing. I guarantee you haven't seen these movies, right, EK?
No.
Yeah,
I know what it's about.
It's not up your alley at all.
But I know the story.
Okay, good. All right, so the 2011 one, I was like, okay, let's see a remake of one of the best movies with the best endings of all time. And so I watched it, and I was like, this. I know I'm probably pissing people off by saying this, but this isn't bad. This really isn't bad. I mean, I was glad that they're able to, like, they kind of up the level of grotesquerie because of the nature of, like, CGI versus practical effects that were available in, like, 1982 and so forth. And because you had CGI available in 2011, the grotesqueries that you saw in the 2011 thing were actually quite, I mean, like, the first 82 movie never was grossed out. I was like, that's friggin' weird, but I was never grossed out. The 2011 one, I was grossed out, effectively. There are points where I was like, ugh, I don't want to look at the screen. It's gross, you know, when two people merge together. It's spoilers. Anyway, so.
The story of this kind of reminds me of the movie with, you know, the Duddits character?
Yeah.
What movie is that?
That's Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
The story of The Thing kind of reminds me of Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, kind of. A little bit. Also, it's a different kind of movie. Anyway, you're derailing me. Anyway.
Sorry.
So, and as the movie goes on, the 2011 movie went on, I started to realize, like, that scene looks familiar. The way the set is set up looks familiar. Why does it look familiar? And then at the very end of the movie, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Kate's, there's no steam around her mouth. What's up with that? And I was like, oh, they kind of did it. They kind of did the what's that called? The ambiguous ending, like they did in the first one. And then it cuts to the dog getting loose. Like, you get the title credits directed by it, and then I forget the guy's name. And then you get the dog running in the snow, and you see the helicopter taking off and chasing it. And then after I watched the 2011 movie, I started up the 1982 movie, and I realized, oh, this leads straight into the beginning of the first movie. So it's actually the same movie, if you think about it. And I thought to myself that if you're going to do a remake, if you're going to do a update, sequel, prequel, whatever,
Is that what it was?
That's what it was. It's a good way to interlace it into the original story so that it fits together. It's like Lego pieces. Make sure they can clink together. And you can have your own story where the female protagonist. After all, I watched the 1982 one after that with Kurt Russell and his glorious 80s coif. You know? And that ending where who's the thing? Who's the thing? That has been baffling people since 1982. And then this 2011 one fits right into it. Like Connects. You remember Connects? Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And I said to myself, if you're going to make a remake, if you're going to make a sequel, do it that way. That way it pays homage to the John Carpenter thing. Because after all, the 1982 John Carpenter The Thing is revolutionary in terms of horror and sci-fi. Because the creatures are terrifying and disgusting. and they're in an isolated situation in Antarctica, limited supplies, limited people, and people start dying, and it's dire. It was very intense. And the new movie, the 2011 movie, captured that as well as interlocking into the original one. So it's all one continuous story. I thought it was done very brilliantly. I think if I had to give a star rating to them, the original 1982 The Thing is 12 of 13 stars. And that's not 13 because gross stuff kind of doesn't do well in film because you got people like EK that can't bear to watch it. So I'd give 1982 The Thing 12 of 13 stars. The 2011 version of The Thing, I give 11 of 13 stars, just because you can't match that first one. So let's say 11. Let's just give it an 11 of 13. Is that all right? Yeah. Since they're like kind of together. We were going to do 11 and a half, but that was way too hard to do. Short notice.